Hello there, what is going on, everyone, and welcome to our 9th episode of Awesome Gaming News. This is a series where I talk about some pretty exciting, uplifting, happy, or hyped news from around the tabletop gaming world, and I bring it to you kind of in summary. Some of it is things that I've already talked about. Some of it is things I haven't yet talked about. And some of it is things that I've talked about a little bit, but I'm getting ready to talk about some more. And so you never know what you're going to get in an AGN. But it's always positive stories. It's always things that are mostly good and uplifting. And I think it's important to have some, kind of like a regular program that is something that people can look forward to, something that people can look to as this is all positive, good news. Because sometimes there's news that's not so great. Sometimes there's an update that I'm not a big fan of. Sometimes there's a game that comes out that I don't like so much. But for the most part, I try to stay positive, and this is an effort to keep the channel and the brand in that positive direction. If you guys like what you see here, I'd love to have you guys stick around. We are still doing another round of the $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. Let's go ahead and get started with our first story of the day, Star Trek Into the Unknown. I've talked about this game a decent amount. So why is this one in here? Well, in addition to the fact that we are getting closer to more information and the anticipated release of Rising Tensions, the Klingon expansion for Star Trek Into the Unknown, I am happy to report that more and more people across the world have been reporting that they are finally getting Star Trek Into the Unknown in their hands. This is a game that has had some difficulties with getting, some European, UK, and in different countries, they've just had hard time getting their distribution networks and product in people's hands. And now it seems like a lot of those have been fixed. A lot more people have been posting that they've finally been getting this stuff after a very long wait. And I'm thrilled to have this game finally getting in the hands of people who've been anticipating it for a very, very long time. And hopefully this does mean that supply chain issues are working out better, and hopefully Rising Tensions will be able to benefit from the lessons learned from all of the difficulties that we've had so far. But this is a great game, and it's got beautiful models, great miniatures, and it's Star Trek, and it really feels Star Trek. If you guys haven't already checked out Star Trek Into the Unknown, it's an amazing game. I've got a lot of videos talking about it. You can check those out, and there's this, and you can head over to WizKids and check out your own stuff too, and pre-order the Klingon expansion if you like that. They have movable wings on those. You got a detachable saucer section on this. It's like it's like you're getting toys on top of your game. It's very, very cool. It's super fun stuff. So I thought, the main takeaway here is that more and more people are actually getting their game, and that is a beautiful thing, and it's a happy story to be able to tell when people have been waiting and waiting and waiting, and they finally get what they've been waiting for, and that's a good thing. On to our next story is the recent launch of the new 5th Kickstarter for Game Toppers LLC. They have a lot of new stuff. They have new mats and limited edition toppers. They have these awesome new kind of inset kind of side panelings that you can get on your game topper. Basically what this is, and if you've followed the channel for a long time, you've seen me talk about these guys before, but these are a way to turn a regular table into a gaming table. And not everybody has room for a big gaming table, right? Especially if you play some of the big games like I talk about, like Legion or Armada or X-Wing Epic. A lot of the games that are like 6x3 or 6x4, Warhammer, for crying out loud. You don't always have a table for Warhammer in your house, but maybe you want to play. Maybe you and your buddy want to play. Maybe you and your kids, you and your brother, you and your cousin, you and your wife want to play big games. And not even those big games like Warhammer. What about like Twilight Imperium? What about all those kind of games, right? So this is a way to take a regular table and turn it into a big old gaming table by putting a topper down on top. And these are super awesome toppers. These are, they have the raised edges so your dice don't roll off. They have all kinds of amazing play mats that can go inside here, and you can, change, because honestly, when you sit down at like a table with like a red mat, and then you sit down next time and it's got like this like world map mat in there, it kind of gives the whole backdrop a different feel, just like kind of changing the wallpaper on your phone or on your computer or whatever device you use. And so a lot of cool stuff. Or maybe you're like me and somebody, no names are going to be named, spills coffee at the gaming table and gets it on your, and they, well, instead of ruining your thing, you're like, hey, no problem. I can just pick up my, swap out my mat and, or, wash that one and then, put another one down. So they have all kinds of cool stuff like that. Very cool stuff. And they also sponsor a lot of conventions. I first started playing games on these toppers at Dice Tower Con here in Orlando, which is actually coming up too for 4th of July weekend. So that's another cool thing. A lot of really cool conventions that are happening in Orlando. If you guys happen to be in Central Florida near me, if you've been to some of the cons here, you probably have played on some of these amazing game toppers. So very cool stuff. New Kickstarter running. Prices are being lowered. And also the other good news is that we're going to have Berkey himself from Game Toppers on. We're going to be talking a little bit more about Game Toppers here next week, thereabouts. So very near future. So stay tuned for that. So it's going to be exciting. So again, and if you want to check these out, I'll have a link in the description below. Moving on to the next bit of good news for Star Wars Shatterpoint players. This is a big update that has come to Shatterpoint within the last couple of weeks. Atomic Mass Games has released a huge errata to the game. Lots of characters have had their cards adjusted, have had their balance. This is a big balance change to, the game is about 2 years old now, and they've really had a time to kind of go over it and look at characters and readjust them. Sometimes a lot of stuff from the core box was hit by this. A lot of characters from the core box, but not just those characters. A lot of other characters were rebalanced. Some were too weak and they have been bumped up in power to make them reflect where they should be. And some characters that were too strong have been nerfed a little bit to make them, kind of not be overpowered. This has been hailed as a big relief to a lot of Shatterpoint players. And if you head over to atomicmassgames.com, you can head over to the Shatterpoint errata and look at the new cards. And all of this is print and play, free downloadable, so you can start playing with it right away. And this can hopefully revitalize your games of Shatterpoint. So Shatterpoint players, if you're already a Shatterpoint, why do I keep saying Shatterpoint? I don't know why I'm doing that, but I'm leaving it in the video because it's silly to laugh at yourself and have a good time when you're saying things like Shatterpoint. I don't know why I'm saying that, but maybe that'll be a new hashtag someday just to make fun of me when I cannot speak correctly. But if you're already a Shatterpoint player, you can go ahead and head over to Atomic Mass Games and check out the new errata that is there and waiting for you. Coming up next in the world of terrain that is compatible with Shatterpoint and also compatible with Cyberpunk and Star Wars Legion and Warhammer and RPGs. I mean, really good for RPGs as well. Monster Fight Club, one of my favorite companies, some of my favorite terrain in the world. A very, very fun terrain company, as well as amazing games that they make, like Cyberpunk Combat Zone, one of my all-time favorite games. They have just launched their latest Kickstarter for the Monster Scenery Metropolis 2.0. The Monster Scenery Metropolis original Kickstarter had a different style of buildings. They were kind of the straight up and down buildings. And they have some buildings like that here, but they have a whole lot more, a whole new system. And I talked to these guys when we were at Adepticon. If you followed my video footage from there, you will see, they had a very, very big table set up. And it incorporates the regular buildings. It incorporates the shipping containers. It also incorporates different style buildings that are a little bit more like Imperial Gray kind of, type of buildings, like elevator shafts and stuff. And you've got all of this different type of stuff. And it has components that can let you mix and match all of those and build sort of a hybrid. Think of very much like sort of a cyberpunk kind of slums kind of city. Also think the stacks from Ready Player One. You can build kind of, these towering skyscrapers that kind of all build and lean into each other and kind of support each other, or you can build kind of more standardized structures. You can do a lot with this and really make the terrain work for you. Or you can just, honestly, you can just play with it too, because it's incredibly cool and very, very fun to play with. So this just launched. If you are looking to take a look at what they have, I'm going to have a link in the description below. This is very fun stuff. We are going to be doing some more videos with some of these shipping containers, because we've been painting and doing grime. I've already done some videos kind of talking how to kind of weather some of those shipping containers, and I have been doing a lot of them. I got a big project that's going to showcase a little bit of, like, parts of this, but I'm, again, just showing more ways to be able to add on to your terrain and making it all work together. And if you've already got buildings, that'll also be compatible with your existing shipping containers and other buildings, and it's all going to work together. So I like things that go to work for you and give you more to do with the things that you've already got. Or if you're just getting in for the first time, this is a great way to get in and get some of this awesome terrain that works for just about every game in your collection. And you can save money while you're doing it. So head over to the link in the description below, and you can check out this Kickstarter for Monster Scenery Metropolis 2.0. Warhammer always has a lot of news. There's always new stuff coming out from GW, updates for all of their different games. There's been a lot for Horus Heresy. There's been new things dropping all the time for 40K with Emperor's Children. But my favorite GW game, Age of Sigmar, is now just getting their General's Handbook 2025-2026 edition, along with the Scourge of Giran season that's going along with it. And we also just got a points drop, which is a huge update to points that not only has it lowered the points on a lot of big units, war machines and monsters and things like that, non-heroic monsters, but a lot of other things. And my new Caradron Overlords have gone down in points significantly. Skaven have gone down in points significantly. Some things have gone from free upgrades to now having a cost. A lot of manifestations have seen changes. A lot of rules changes for this season. Big things about the way how all-out attack and all-out defense are going to work. Lots of alternate new cards that are coming out. It's a really exciting time, because I've been playing a lot of Age of Sigmar this past year since the new 4th edition came out, and it's been a load of fun. The game is very, very, very fun right now. And on top of that, we now have a whole bunch of new strategies, tactics, and army building possibilities with this new, this next year. So it's a very, very exciting time for me as an Age of Sigmar player, maybe for you as an Age of Sigmar player. It's the General's Handbook. It's an option. It's a new way to play. It's a new seasonal way to play for the next year, or for any time you want, really. But yeah, it's a fun thing. The General's Handbooks are a cool thing that they do from time to time, and I think it's pretty fun. This one's a little on the pricier side, but you're getting so much with it, and like new unit cards for every single army. It's wild. It's just wild. Very cool. From WizKids, Star Trek Captain's Chair. This one is gotten some big news, big news. So Star Trek Captain's Chair is a deck building game in the Star Trek universe, coming to us from WizKids, and it's getting 2 new expansions were just announced. This is a big deal. We have the Star Trek Captain's Chair Too Boldly Go and Star Trek Captain's Chair Second Contact. Now, why did they announce 2 expansions? We're going to talk about them a little bit. Think of Too Boldly Go as like kind of an alternate starter. This is a starter that is going to be an optional starting place. But it's also compatible with Captain's Chair, the original Captain's Chair. You can kind of take your captains and your decks from Too Boldly Go and take them against the original captains and stuff from Star Trek Captain's Chair. But then on top of that, Second Contact is extras that are compatible with either starter. So think of it as one's an alternate starter, one is a true expansion that is not you won't be able to play with just Second Contact. You'll have to have at least one of the other 2 starters, or both, or pick it all up. Pick it all up if you want. So the details for that have been dropping. There's been some spoiler cards. They're doing stuff from lower decks in there too. A lot of really cool stuff coming out. This is great to see Star Trek games getting supported and thriving and doing well. It's an exciting time for Star Trek fans, and I love it. It's not only exciting for Star Trek, it's also exciting for Star Wars. Days of Wonder has the Battle of Hoth that is going to be coming out in August of 2025 is the current projected date. August 29th, I believe, is the current projected. Although those dates never always stay the same. They never always, they always never, and they sometimes never, and they always sometimes never always. But when they are correct, they're correct 60% of the time. They're correct every time. So, but no, Battle of Hoth is going to be using a system very similar to Memoir 44, the Command and Colors system. It's going to be, Empire versus Rebels, and finally we're getting a game that uses multiple AT-ATs. I love it. It's similar in scale as far as the models to kind of what you would get in Star Wars Rebellion. There's been at the UK Games Expo recently, there were a lot of preview images, and I talked about those in another video. If you want to check those out, I'll have links. But these look like they're really good models. It's going to be a beautiful game. It's going to be a fun, approachable game, and also is potentially the first in a series of games that feature different important battles from the Star Wars universe. And this is from Days of Wonder, which is another Asmodee company, showing more that Asmodee is trying to do more and more with that Star Wars license, which is also a good sign because it could mean we get more and cooler and newer and awesome Star Wars games. Love to see more and more of stuff like this because I love talking about it. And I love playing these games as well. And I love the miniatures and, getting really small little dudes like this. I love the scale. I want a whole war game in this scale. Maybe we'll get that someday. Who knows? Who knows? It'll be really exciting. So that's going to do it for our 9th edition of Awesome Gaming News. If you have some awesome gaming news that you've heard about, let me know down in the comments section below. And it doesn't just have to be new product announcements. It can also be good news from a publisher related to something. It can be something great from a community where a gamer does something to help somebody else or whatever. Feel good stories are always welcome as well. Love to hear your awesome gaming news. Let me know what you guys think. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. And also thank my patrons, because you guys are absolutely amazing. So thank you for making this channel continue to go, and don't forget to always wash your socks.